Hey y'all, Knits with Horses, also known as Natalie. Fixing to redo some of my how-to videos that I had made, and they were already loaded onto my computer, and I had started editing them, and my computer crashed. And then we were moving out here to our property, so we're kind of in the middle of the woods now. This is just so that you're not looking at a table while I'm talking. Just a pair of socks I'm knitting. Anyway, what we're doing today is knitting into our cast on. And I have cast on 12 stitches with a long tail cast on. That's in my earlier video, and it was a long time ago. Feel free to go back and look at it, or if you already know how to cast on or have another video that you use. I'm going to do both so that you can see the difference and the similarities. It's more similar than different, of course. You can tell this is a long tail cast on, though, if you really look, because it's got a kind of a finished edge look there. And I'm using a contrasting color so you can see where one stitch ends and the other one begins. And you can hear my crazy son harassing his wife in the background. So, for knitting, for the knit stitch, you're going to go from on the front of the work, from left to right, under that first stitch. So make sure that you're just under one thread, one strand. And then you're going to go all the way around the needle, around the back of the needle, and down in between the needles. Push that out, and then push that stitch off. So there we go. And there's a poem we use to teach children. It goes like this. In through the front door, run around the back, out through the window, off jumps Jack. In through the front door, run around the back, out through the window, off jumps Jack. And that's the knit stitch. And that's what it looks like in a long tail cast on. In, around, out, off. In, around, out, off. Now that's right-handed, which I believe is English. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in text. I can't keep them straight. I usually am actually left-handed, continental, picking, whatever you want to call it. And the strand of yarn then is going to be behind you there. You're going to go in the same spot, but you're going to pick it up with your needle and pull it through. See, instead of going around there, throwing it around, you're going to pick it up with your needle and pull it through and pull the stitch off. Go in there, grab it and pull it through, slide it off. In there, grab it and pull it through and slide it off. My dogs are having a big old time. Can you tell? Sorry about the slurpy noises. You're a noisy drinker, Maya. So that's that. Now, we will do the same thing, only into a regular, old school, basic cast on. Okay, so now we have 12 stitches cast on with a basic cast on. If you kind of spread them out, you'll see the difference. Rather than having almost like a little knot at the bottom, it's just a little strand along the bottom. And on any, I didn't show the first stitch on the original one because it was like my fourth attempt to do this video. But I'll go ahead and show you on this one, because even for me, that first stitch is sometimes a little fiddly to keep things from getting loose and wonky. Get this white yarn here. I'll have to use some text to put what yarns these are, because, well, this is Vitalana from Knit Crate, from my Knit Crate. It's left over from the shawl that I made for my daughter-in-law, and it is scrumptious. I love this yarn. This is it's just an acrylic, I believe, or no, I think it's a wool acrylic blend that I made slippers for my grandson out of, and I don't remember. I'll have to put that in text. I always like to credit the yarn that I'm using. Anyway, so you go in the same place here. You've still got one stitch on there, and you will get better with practice at keeping it all in place without things, you know, slipping and sliding around. We'll put that over there. Keep everything snug. Pull that through. Now, red yarn was not a good choice because it's splitting on me. Now, this is what I mentioned in my other video. With an old school cast on, you're going to get a thread right there. It's going to stretch out. Do not worry about it. Do not worry about it. We will get to that. Now, when you go in the next stitch there, go ahead and knit your second stitch and make sure that it's right up next to the first one. Don't try to use this up. In through the front door, run around that back, out through that window, and just push Jack out the window. He's done. He's done now. You're done with him. And you can see how the bottom of this, the finished stitch, is the thing that looks the most different. That looks considerably different than the long tail cast on. So sometimes this one may have its use. It depends on what you want your edge to look like. Now, do this stitch right next to the other one. When you pull it through, just pull it through, pull that white one through, and then go ahead and pull that red all the way, even though that's getting longer. And we'll go ahead and do one more that way, and then I'll switch to my left hand. Or continental, or picking, or whatever you want to call it. That this splitty yarn was not the best choice. There we go. I forgot to say, make one extra stitch. Make one stitch more than you need when you're doing regular cast on. Because you're going to finish these like so. Like so. And then that last stitch, see, you've got that, here's all your extra, but you're going to just let it go. Make like Elsa and let it go. And now you don't have to worry about it anymore. And so now there's your finished stitch, your first row. And see, you don't actually have a full stitch of the red yarn like you did with long tail cast on. It's like I said, you may want this kind of edge as opposed to one, because the other one does have a kind of a little almost knot look at the bottom. It's the basic foundation of all your knitting. You can cast on, you can knit, you can already now make a scarf, a pot holder, a baby blanket. If you want to, you could just cast on and just knit and knit and knit and knit and have a blanket. Or a scarf, or a pot holder, or I taught my youngest when she was little, she used to make horse blankets for her toy horses. So that's it for today. Next up will be the purl stitch, which will open a whole new world. I'm really in with the Disney today. Y'all have a good day.